Hi, Simon Chappell here. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and as always, I want to help you smash your sobriety. Today, I wanted to give you a tactic to help you handle any discomfort or cravings that you might have when you quit drinking. Before I do that, if you enjoy the videos on my YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, and you'll be alerted every time there's a new video. I publish new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday to help anyone who wants to quit drinking do it on their own. There's plenty of videos on my channel that take you right from the very first stages of sobriety through to any of the challenges that come up in the first years after you've quit drinking. And if you feel like you need more support on your journey to sobriety, you're welcome to join my quit drinking program. You can find out more at www.joinbesober.com. The website address is on the screen right now, and you get 14 days free so that you can try it and find out if it's a good fit for you. So let's get to this tactic. It's a really, really simple tactic. And I'm going to show you how the stopwatch on your phone can help you get through a craving or deal with any feelings of discomfort. And that might not even be related to alcohol. This tactic can help you no matter what. You might be experiencing feelings of anger, or you might be in conflict with somebody, your partner, a close friend, or somebody at work. It works incredibly well with alcohol, but just about anything where you're experiencing discomfort, strong emotions, heightened feelings, particularly anger, sadness, worry, is an excellent tactic that's going to help you. And I'm going to give you a bonus tactic at the end. So you get two tactics in this video today. So in the early weeks and months after we quit drinking, we can experience quite strong cravings. The first week, normally days 3 to 5, tend to be the toughest. After the first week or so, we feel a lot stronger. Our mental resilience has increased by around 60 to 70%. And the things that were phasing us and causing us to have a meltdown in the early days, they don't feel quite so bad. Things seem to get easier. But we still can have cravings, and we still can have moments where our emotions feel like they're all over the place. And it is absolutely vital that you know how to deal with these, because if you're unprepared, the chances are that you're going to start thinking alcohol is the only thing that's going to take this away. Of course, that's a complete illusion. Alcohol doesn't take it away. All it will do is put you right back where you were, in the middle of a huge internal conflict. The reason you're probably watching this video is because your subconscious mind is telling you that you're okay to keep drinking. There's no problem. Everybody else drinks the same as you, so why should you bother stopping? Yet your conscious mind, for some reason, has become aware that your drinking might be a problem and is advising you to stop. And your subconscious and conscious mind are in conflict with each other. They've gone to war. And when there's an internal conflict in your mind, it is incredibly painful. The only way to end that internal conflict is not by drinking, because it doesn't solve the problem. It just puts you right back there, is to get the two sides in harmony. And the only way to get the two sides in harmony is by educating yourself about what an alcohol-free life is going to look like, and understanding that you gain so much more than you lose when you quit drinking. And in fact, you don't lose anything. I didn't lose anything at all. I gained everything. I got my life back, which was absolutely incredible. Yes, of course, alcohol gives us an hour or two of escape from stress, anxiety, and it might make you think that you have fun when you drink. But when you look at the facts, that's absolutely not the case. We experience even more anxiety, greater stress, hangovers, regrettable behavior, looking at your phone the next morning, wondering who you sent text messages to. We're definitely not happier the next day, and we're definitely not less stressed or less anxious. So you need to really get some clarity on what alcohol is doing to your life and how good an alcohol-free life is going to look for you. And the best way to do that is by immersing yourself in learning. Educate yourself, get your hands on some good quit drinking books, join a quit drinking program, join some Facebook sobriety groups, which are amazing communities, completely private. So none of your friends can see anything that you post, only the other members of the group can see. It's a complete safe space. And you're welcome to join my group. Simply search for Be Sober, BE Sober on Facebook, and you'll find it. It's completely free. I'd love you to join that and connect with the community. So that's a little bit about your mindset and why taking a drink is only going to put you back in the middle of that internal conflict. It's really important for you to understand that. Often we experience discomfort when we quit. We have a strong craving and we think taking a drink is the answer. It's going to heal it. It's the antidote. It's absolutely not. All it does is puts you right back at the start in the middle of the internal conflict. You never go back to that place where you might have been 10, 15, 20 years ago when you were in ignorant bliss about your drinking and you didn't realize there was a problem. You don't go back there. You just end up right back in the middle of internal conflict, and it's a painful place. The only way out is to go through and to come out the other side by getting the two sides of your mind, your conscious, your subconscious, in harmony with each other. Once they're in harmony, you find peace, you find happiness. Right, now let's get to this tactic with the stopwatch so you know how to handle those uncomfortable moments, the cravings, the discomfort. And it's a really simple tactic, and it's all about bringing awareness to the discomfort. It can be so easy to experience a craving or an uncomfortable feeling, and instead of becoming mindful and acknowledging it, we simply run away with it. We have a meltdown, we reach for a drink, we think it's the only solution. If you can pause for a moment and recognize that this discomfort is with you, you're going to be able to successfully get through it. And this is where the phone comes in. What I would like you to do if you experience a craving or uncomfortable feelings is to start the stopwatch on your phone as soon as the craving begins. I'm going to assume it's a craving. It could be any other sort of feeling, but just for the purposes of the explanation, start the stopwatch on your phone. And I want you to record how long the craving lasts. Now, you might use one of the other tactics on my YouTube channel in order to overcome the craving. You might meditate, you might go for a run, you might phone a friend, read a book, whatever you need to do. And it's important that you've got those tactics and tools to enable you to get through any discomfort. Or you might just learn to sit with it and feel the feelings, because they often don't last very long. Often a craving will last for around 10 to 20 minutes. They feel like they last longer, but they don't. And this is why I want you to get your stopwatch involved. Once the craving starts to subside, which it always does, you stop your stopwatch and you record the time. Take a screenshot of it, maybe put it in a folder on your phone, because it probably won't be the last craving that you'll have. And now this time is your new personal best. You've just recorded a personal best time. And if you're journaling, which I highly recommend, write down what that time was as well. And then ask yourself the question, how long am I prepared to let these feelings overwhelm me, to spoil my day? If the craving stayed with you for 30 or 40 minutes, you might say to yourself, actually, 15 or 20 minutes is more than enough. I don't want to give them any more time than that. I'm not giving them the oxygen. And because you've become mindful about the length of time that these cravings are hanging around for, you can actually work on reducing it. So the next time a craving comes up, record it again, record the time, and you'll notice that it probably doesn't last as long because you've become mindful of it. And if you've set yourself a target time, all the better. You're going to actually be working to get yourself into a positive frame of mind and out of any discomfort as quickly as you possibly can. And what will happen, the more you use this tactic, is that the cravings, first of all, will become less and less frequent, but more importantly, they will last for less and less time. And by you learning to stick with them rather than taking a drink, rather than having a meltdown, you can see that they pass and you become stronger because you're sitting through the craving, you're sitting through the uncomfortable feeling, you're seeing that it always fades away, they don't last that long. And in fact, the time frame is shortening almost every craving that you're having. And of course, the fact they won't be coming as fast and furious as they might have been in the early couple of days will also give you comfort and strength that it is getting easier. And it can be another great idea to keep a tally of how many cravings you're having. So just with a pen and paper or on the notes on your phone, just make a tally of how many cravings you have. Every time you have one, put another tally down. And you should notice that over the days and the weeks, the curve is going down. You might start by having 10 cravings a day, and by the end of the first week, it's down to 5 or 6, and into the second week, it might be 2 or 3. And again, it gives you confidence, it gives you strength, as you can see that you are moving forward and that things are getting easier. But recording the time, the length of the craving, and then using that to your advantage to try and bring the time down, to teach yourself that they always pass. Sometimes it can be easy to think that they last for hours and hours and that they never go away. This is all about becoming mindful of the craving, noticing the length of time, recording it, and then looking at the data, noticing that it's getting easier, noticing that you are succeeding on your journey. Now, I promised you one other tip that kind of goes hand in hand with this, and it's also for dealing with any feelings of discomfort. Now, I used to be a massive worrier. Alcohol was causing my anxiety to go through the roof. I would worry about absolutely anything and everything. And even when I'd calmed down my mind for whatever it was I was worrying about, I'd find something else to worry about. And it was constant. It was all the time. And one of the tactics that really helped me when it came to worrying and handling those uncomfortable feelings was to set myself some time each day that I would use to worry. I called it my worry window. And I would set that time between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. every single morning. And the way this worked was I would often have worries while I was at work during the day, maybe in the afternoon, and they would overwhelm me. They would just take over the day and I couldn't function properly. But once I created a worry window, I was able to tell myself that I had now set aside a specific slot where I could worry about these things. And this enabled me not to worry in that moment. So a worrying thought or an uncomfortable feeling would come up, and I would naturally just say to myself that I've got a meeting with you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. That's when my time to worry is. It's not now. I'll deal with you then. It's a little bit like putting it in your to-do tray. And that was when I would deal with it. And I would do that each time a worry or a concerning thought came up. I would just pop it in my mental to-do tray for the next morning. And then the next morning would come around and I would I would often meditate first in front of a mirror, and I would have a conversation with myself and talk through my worries and my concerns. I've often would write them down ahead of time, so I've got them with me, and I would write them down when they came up. And that's me putting them on my worry to-do list. And I would go through each item on the list and talk it through with myself. And it often enabled me to get a more rational perspective on the worries. And the amazing thing was that in many cases, the worry that I'd had the day before seemed a bit silly now. I wasn't worrying about it any longer. So by pushing the worry forward into my worry window that I had the next morning, it actually allowed a bit of time for the worry or the uncomfortable feeling to evaporate. And that often did happen. And I have recommended this to lots of people, and I know that they've used it with great success. So it really does work. If you're a worrier or you're having lots of uncomfortable feelings, instead of allowing them to overwhelm you in that moment, create a window like mine, a worry window, and use that window to your advantage. You don't want this taking over your day, so set some time aside and deal with it then. You'll have your specific time, your specific meeting time, and you'll meet up with your worries, meet up with your discomfort, look it in the eye, in the mirror, and talk everything through with it. Rather like a board meeting with your worries, your concerns, your fears, your resentments, whatever it might be, something's making you angry. Deal with it then. And you'll find that it's an excellent way to allow things to pass, to allow you to calm down, and to prevent you from getting overwhelmed at a time when you really probably could do without those feelings, because let's be honest, they always come at a time when you don't want them. So hopefully that gives you two tactics: one, to deal with cravings by using your stopwatch, timing them, noticing that they actually always pass and that the time frame that they're lasting is getting shorter and shorter and they're becoming less and less frequent. And another one for dealing with worries, concerns, discomfort, and any feelings that are causing you problems. I hope they help. As I say, if you enjoy the videos, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. It means a lot to me. I love building a community here on YouTube, and I'd love you to be part of that.